Okay, so today I want to go over 5 easy things that you can do to be healthier than 90% of people. Let's get into it. So, the first one is honestly, I think the easiest, but for some people it's going to be harder, is what it is. And that's literally just drinking water. Like, drinking water, it's so easy. You have it with you all day, and it's just making sure you get the right amount of water. So, at a minimum, I would say try and drink, at a bare minimum, I'd say honestly like 64 ounces like this. This is a 64-ounce water bottle. Personally, I drink a lot more water than that. I probably drink somewhere between 2 and 3 of these a day, so a gallon to a half. But just drinking a solid amount of water, one, you're gonna feel better. Two, if you care about this, your skin will be much clearer. Like when I actually had my surgery, the nurse commented, she's like, "Oh, you have very nice skin." I was like, "Oh, I drink a lot of water. Don't know what to tell you." But drinking water, like you'll just feel so much better. Most of your bodily processes will function better. And even if you just add like a pinch of salt in the morning too, that will help hydrate you even more and will just make everything work so much better for you. Drinking water is probably the easiest thing that you can do to just start being healthier. Like, water's literally free. Just get some water and try and drink it. Ideally, I'd say somewhere on a gallon. And if you're someone who takes creatine, which I'm really going to talk about in this video outside me just mentioning it right there, you're going to need to drink a little bit more. But just drinking water in general is so beneficial for you. So for number 2, this is going to be trying to eat closer to a whole foods diet. Because one of the things I want to caveat is with this, I'd say try and do the 80-20 rule. Just trying to eat relatively healthy. Now, this doesn't have to be all the time. If you go on a vacation, want to eat a little different, that's your choice, right? But at least most of the time, try and eat healthy. And for those of you that don't know what whole foods are, the easiest way to think about it is there isn't an ingredients label on it. So what do I mean by that? If I go get like a banana, there's no ingredients list on a banana. Whereas like Oreos, for example, and something that's not a whole food, so you should probably not eat. Oreos have a bunch of different ingredients on the list. A banana is just a banana, that's all it is. So there's no ingredients there. So basically just a quick overview, it's gonna be lots of fruits, veggies, a lot like any red meats, your chickens, turkey, things like that, eggs, butter, I think Greek yogurt counts. Just like basic things like that. Honestly, most of the time, most people consider those healthy foods. And I also included the 80-20 rule because the whole point of this is just to get you healthier than most people. So you don't need to be doing this 100% of the time. We're not trying to be a top 1% athlete or a top 1% fitness person. If you are, then this video will give you some basic, but you need to dive much deeper into this. But if you just follow that 80-20 rule, so 80% of the time you're eating well, 20% of the time you just eat whatever you want, you're gonna be healthier than most people. Because most people probably follow like a 20-80 rule, the reverse way, where they eat healthy a little bit of the time and most of their food is bad. So the next thing is training, and I would recommend doing some type of, so I would say 3 days a week you should try and resistance train. You can pick what your split is. You could do push-pull legs, you could do full body every day, you could do an Arnold split. I don't really care. Just doing some type of resistance training so that you're training all of the muscles in your body and just trying to get at least 3 days in a week. Now, I would also suggest you do some light cardio with that daily, maybe somewhere around 20 minutes. Or you could do this as well, or in place of that, maybe if you're trying to be a little bit more of like a high-level athlete, I would recommend doing one level of like steady state cardio for a longer period of time where you're maybe slightly struggling to talk, but you can still have a conversation. It's just a little challenging. And then I would say one session of like HIIT cardio, so high intensity interval cardio, where maybe you're like sprinting for 10 seconds, rest for 20, sprint for 10, rest for 20, or maybe sprint for 30, rest for a minute, like whatever it is, whatever you want it to be. But doing something like that, that'll just allow you to build at least some solid amount of muscle, keep your cardiovascular system healthy, and also training has a lot of beneficial aspects for your mental health. So it'll just kind of help you feel better than most people. The next thing I'm going to go into is just talking about mental health is honestly, with your mental health in general, just like not over stressing about things that you can't control. One of the best things I ever started doing was, obviously I still see, listen, and hear about and care about things that I can't control, like maybe whatever political policies are going on, right? Things like that. Or even like sports teams, like I care about them, right? But understanding the difference between, I care about those, but it's not everything. The only thing that I can focus on that means everything are things that I can control. Because if I can't control it, I can't stress out over it. Because that means now I'm letting other people and other things that I can't control stress me out. If you just allow things that you can control to focus on things like that, you're genuinely going to be so much happier. And this also kind of goes along with not just being like chronically online. Like, yes, politics is important and you should know what's going on in your country and wherever, right? In your state, whatever. But that also can't be everything. Every time there's a change or a policy you don't like, you can't break down for the day. You need to be able to be like, oh, not really a fan of that. Okay. And figure out how to deal with it in either a logical way or be like, oh, that sucks. Maybe be sad for like a minute or two. Be like, oh, I feel bad for those people that it's going to affect, or wow, that sucks that it's going to affect me in that way. But now I have to figure out what I can do. It's always easier to figure out what you can do so that you can adapt and you can, now that the problem has arisen, figure out a solution to that problem. And the fifth and final thing that is so important, and this one's probably, I think this is the hardest on the list, is getting good sleep. So quickly, you can take things like magnesium to help with your sleep. That's like one supplement that does work to boost your sleep. I'm personally not a fan of melatonin. With your sleep, goal is to get somewhere between 6 to 8, 7 to 9 hours, somewhere around there. It's wherever you truly function best. But getting bad sleep is such a issue. Like it causes so many different things for you, and sleep is truly one of the best remedies for honestly like almost anything going on in your life. You just feel so much better when you get a good night's sleep. So a couple easy ways to do that is try and have a sleep schedule where you wake and go to sleep at the same time. That'll allow your body to get used to it, and you'll be able to hopefully wake up without an alarm, and you'll be able to fall asleep much faster, because I know a lot of people struggle with falling asleep. So just doing things like that. Try not to drink too much water close to your bedtime whenever you're going to sleep, because you're going to wake up in the middle of the night and need to go to the bathroom. That one's definitely a tough one, at least for me, because I drink a lot of water. And just remembering like, oh, it's the last hour before I go to sleep. Let me put my, try and not have as much water now. Just things like that. But sleep is genuinely one of the most important things that we just neglect as a society. So try and get to bed early, try and get good night's sleep. You'll feel so much better. Your body will function better. You're at lower risk for a bunch of diseases. And as I said, you're gonna feel better. Why would you not want to do something that will make you feel better? It definitely sucks, and you're gonna have to miss out on a couple things, or maybe not watch that extra episode, or not start doom scrolling, but once you do it, you'll feel so much better. So if you implement these 5 things genuinely, you'll probably be healthier than 90% of people, because most people do maybe 1 or 2 of these. Most people don't do all of them. So if you just start implementing all these 5 things, and if you do none of these right now, that's okay. It's better to just start than to do nothing. So pick one of these, work on that for maybe 2-3 weeks, then add another one, and within a couple months, you'll have all of these down. All right, so try and implement these, send this to anyone you think it could help, and I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next Sunday, 5 p.m. Catch you there.